Okay, so I got home and this was in the mailbox. You really have to kind of wonder what it takes to stop people who are just used to dehumanizing somebody from wanting to continue to dehumanize them. I mean, I don't, what more has to happen? What more do I have to say? You know, what more do I have to, what more has to happen to me in particular before you stop? You know, I mean, it's not like I'm joking around. When I talk about how I feel about what's happened to me. I mean, I've cut off all my hair. You know, I've put this on my arm, and maybe you don't understand what that is. You know, and I would say there are people who do not understand this reference, in terms of the number, the place, and the fact that I put it on my arm like this, and I've been drawing it and redrawing it, a version of this. I think this is the version that it's going to be from now on. I mean, there are people who don't understand it. 1509000. I mean, I think there may be people who just don't understand what the reference is. You know, and that is of concern. It is of concern, and maybe there are people who are, you know, people who are able to make decisions who do not realize that the significance of this placement, you know, a number on an arm like this, is fading out of public memory. Right? There may be people who don't understand that seems to be happening. And then there's this one. I can't even tell you how many times this ad has been on the back of this advertiser. Right? I mean, it's just awful. It's just awful. I mean, what is it that you think they're really saying? Right? No. The hottest concept in hair removal, go weeks without shaving. I mean, it's what they're saying is, you know, sexual assault is all right. Sexual assault is all right, right? And they've got it right here. That's all. Almost the entire thing is just promotion of child molestation, right? And then they've got this one here. What is it? Doris Lopez from Southbridge, MA, date of birth 11/22/94, right? Weight 107 pounds, 5 feet at age 16, right? I mean, this is what they're doing. Yeah, and I don't even know how many times I have to say. You know, as far as body hair, I didn't have any money. What is it that you want me to say? I mean, the first, when I was living in the shelter in Vermont, sometimes they had razors and sometimes they didn't. And also, as far as hair growing on my body, I will tell you, I wore long pants. I didn't wear tank tops. I didn't go swimming, because even though I knew how very chauvinist it was, everything about the way I was being treated, I would try to be realistic. And I tried not to dress as if I were trying to get any sort of sexual attention whatsoever, and even that didn't matter, because they still videotaped me in the shower, and everyone was still calling me this, you know, all these terrible names, right? And it's not like I knew. It's not like I knew. I kind of thought, well, I kind of wondered about it a couple of times, but I thought, nah, they wouldn't do that. They couldn't be that hypocritical, because all this time they've been talking about what a terrible person I am, right? And that would make them terrible people to do that to someone at all, and they couldn't not understand how terrible they're being. So there's no way that they would do that to me, and in fact they had, right? So I mean, but one thing that you can at least get out of wearing long pants in June and July, is that maybe you don't have to shave quite as often as you otherwise would if you were dressing normally for the summer, right? But also, I didn't have any money. I didn't have any money, you know, and so I had to. Sometimes the shelter would provide sort of like things, you know, so they would kind of get them as donations, or sometimes I think they would go out and buy them, things that, you know, were not expensive, samples from places, or the most inexpensive types of products, that kind of thing. And sometimes they had razors, and sometimes they didn't. Right? And the first year that I spent in Boston, I had no money at all. I don't know if people realize that. I had no money, literally no money, like not even $1. I went for an entire year, almost an entire year in Boston, living in shelters without any money at all, not even $1. Right? I got food stamps. I had food stamps. I signed up for food stamps when I was in Vermont, when I was living in the shelter there. But I mean, in Boston, yes, I went for almost an entire year without any money at all. So, you know, and you have to get your supplies from other places. That's how you spend a large part of your day when you're homeless. You get up, you know, you leave. If you don't have a cell phone, which of course I didn't because I couldn't pay for one, you have to go someplace that has a phone. So I would walk from Boston to Cambridge every day, or I would walk from the homeless shelters that are overnight shelters in Boston to the ones that are sort of the day shelters in the Boston area. And I would sign up to use a phone, right? And then you can there's like a homeless voicemail you can sign up for, but it's not like it's not like a phone. You call the voicemail and check your messages, and that's how you get to have a phone number, right? And that's what it's like. And you spend, I mean, things that would take somebody just a couple minutes or no time at all, if they are able to have their own supplies for things, you can spend an entire day. Like walking wherever it is that you need to walk to, and then signing up to be able to do whatever it is, and then waiting until it's your turn, and then having your few minutes to do whatever it is. And then by that time, you know, it's the afternoon or whenever it is, and you have to pay attention to when you have to be at whatever shelter that you're hoping to stay at, in time for the lottery, or in time to get on the list, or in the time to do whatever it is that you have to do. So I mean, these constant attacks about my body hair, you know, are total. I mean, it's not like I asked anybody to videotape me. I said, please don't do that, right? And it is relentless, and it is vicious, and it is hateful. And I have talked about these things before, and sort of talked about what my experience was, and nobody cares. Nobody listens. They just continue to attack me and attack me and attack me. And then there's this, right? I mean, the message of this is, I think, very obvious. You know, it has been for quite some time. I don't even know how many times I've said, no, the videos are not okay with me. The videos are not okay with me, right? And then they've got this, you know, along with this. And it's certainly not the first time that they've had that. So what they're saying is, there's, you know, sexual assault is totally fine. It's just totally fine, right? And then saying no just makes it all the hotter. That just makes it, you know, just makes it so much better. That's what's going on, right? And I'm not trying to say, yeah, you know, this is I knew that this is where things were going to end up, but this is not even the end of it. Don't think it is, because it isn't.